Welcome to
The locker room.
the locker room.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get started.
This is our official first.
First episode.
Mhm.
I'd like to just, talk about some of the things that we're going to talk about going throughout this whole process, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be our big introduction to a broad spectrum of conversation topics. So, stuff from men's mental health, for
Yeah.
example, about what it means to be a man, what it means to be vulnerable, and is that a weakness or is that really a strength?
Right. Right.
What topics about what it's like growing up to be a man, from pretty much when you're a little kid to up until you become one but haven't really figured it out.
Yeah. Um, just beyond like that, and we also get to talk about things in real time too. Like we get to talk about how some of the modern pressures, and especially in this world where everything comes fast, right? Everything is Instagram, TikTok. There's so many experts out there with so many opinions on how we should interact with each other, how we should interact with women, how and so much information comes from so many ways. It's good to be able to have a platform to be able to talk about just that, right? How does that measure up? How do we really feel about that? Really?
I think that's a huge part of it is we're going to talk, right?
Yes.
And we want to create a open space for conversation, for communication about topics that honestly most people don't get to talk about when it comes to their upbringing, when it comes to becoming who you want to be, right? Because honestly, a lot of us haven't found who we want to be yet, or we'll never really, but we'll
No.
always grow towards it.
Well, it's always searching, right? And this is the thing, right? And this is the big thing that we're probably going to talk. We're going to talk about a lot later, right? Is like, is it finding or is it is it rediscovering? Is it getting back to who you are? Because there's so much. Speaking of misinformation, there's so much misinformation that we attach to, that we apply to ourselves, that we grow into, and we have this idea that we have to be a certain way. And it's almost like removing a lot of those things and getting back to who you are, right? Which we talked about before, but we get to talk about that in much more depth now, about how we kind of return to this original being, and in that, finding who we are, or reminding ourselves of who we are.
We talked all about that, but we didn't really talk about ourselves.
Not really.
So,
And the first thing,
okay.
for those that aren't able to see this and are just listening, this is my voice. I am Nas. And when you hear this other voice here,
this is my voice. I am Jason.
All right. So we got that out of the way.
Yeah. Nas, go ahead. Go. Yeah, explain yourself. Who
Explain
are you?
Explain myself.
Yeah, explain yourself.
Such a question.
Yeah.
Such a loaded question. How do you explain yourself? I don't know if we really want to talk about me for the most part.
Well,
I don't.
Tell us a little bit about where you grew to learn about this knowledge and how it shaped you, I'd say.
Man, I
rough
guess,
summary. We're going to talk a lot more about this as we continue on this podcast.
Well, in my way of speaking, when people will grow to learn, is that it's always a lot of it's going to be taken from personal concepts and everything like that, and others as well. But for me, this has all been just a lifelong journey of experimentation, learning, and processing throughout my entire life. I've gone through a lot, and my background hasn't been with a lot of proper guidance, right? I didn't have a lot of proper guidance, so a lot has been just trying to find my way and understand how this world works for men and just people, period. And a lot of it was just sparked for trying to figure out how it worked for me. I didn't have a guy, so I wanted to know. One question that always drove me as a child was why things work the way they do, how things work the way they do, and trying to understand that through and through. So it guided my educational background when going into changing my major to psychology, and even in the process of physical fitness, going through that, it always, the mental side of it has always been a driving force as to how, one's motivations, or a person just finds their way, even into finding their way into their goals and beyond. So I don't know if that answers my question, but it's been through a lot. You're gonna hear a lot about me. It's been
I
a
think
lot, man. There's
I
a
think that sums it up
lot of
pretty well,
stuff.
actually. Yeah, like it really a big gist notes, and that was a big gist note. Like that was a good summary. Hey, like knowing you, that was nice.
Yeah, there you go.
What they, not even a tangent to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
okay.
tangents,
No
no
tangents.
metaphors.
No. There will be a lot of tangents in this
Yes.
podcast, and that's
Very much
okay.
so.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, now it's your turn.
I guess it's my
Don't
turn.
skip out.
That's true. I'm Jason, so my background's a little bit more of the nerdy side, I guess, and same but different way is that we both kind of grew up in very different manners, I would say. But the big thing is, at the end of the day, we found healing and growth through learning about the why. I'd say that's also my biggest question, not to steal it from that at all, but my big why has always been looking for ways of promoting and helping people grow. So that led me down a route of, once again, personal training and stuff like that. 'Cause we both work as personal trainers here.
Yes.
But also through kind of my exploration of psychology and counseling and sociology and learning about a lot of dynamics that happen throughout culture, religion, and what it means to be human. That's kind of what I grew to love and what helped me heal and become who I am. For sure, more of the nerdier side of things. I will make a lot of pop culture references, a lot of references to things that helped me heal through comic books, movies, literature. But I would say I was given guidance as well as not finding it as much by myself, but through counseling, but also through familial ties with friends, family, all that stuff. My dad as well, who did guide me in my search of what it means to be a man. Right, so it's going to be two very different perspectives, I would say, over the similar topic. But at the end of the day, we always kind of route back to the same answer of, is that we do need to grow. Yeah.
How do you feel about cursing?
Oh, I'm down for cursing.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah, okay.
Good.
No, we're not editing that out. We're not editing that. That's saying.
All right, good.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Just making sure.
I mean, sorry for anyone. Beep, but like after that word. No, so we say fuck, and then the beep happens.
All right.
So I think there's got to be a lot of conversations and a lot of topics that sometimes certain words won't project the emotions that we feel about it, right? And sometimes those are the best words to choose, right? Words are words.
But I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to talk about. There's going to be a lot of words that are being said. So if we're sensitive to those words, please, we apologize ahead of time because it's going to happen. Like I said, it's going to be a basis or a platform so we have some straight talk, right? Where we can really just be straightforward, be vulnerable, be authentic, and not be masked in this area, right? We want to talk fully and openly, and we want to invite everybody into this open conversation that we're having. In order for us to have an open conversation, a true conversation, there's going to be some words in there.
There'll be some choice words.
Exactly.
Well, talking about the hosting community, we should also talk about our locker room, like our actual group that we have, that we host as well.
The eponymous locker room.
Anonymous locker room. Yeah.
But it's the same name, right? So the group that we have of the same name called the locker room, which kind of, transitioned over, kind of inspired. I don't know if what inspired what, but I'm not sure which one came first. Did we want the podcast first, or did we?
I think we wanted the podcast first,
probably,
and then we talked about, hey, we want real people and real experiences too with it, not just ours. So we created the actual group,
right? And
then the group created this podcast.
Exactly.
So it really all loops back.
Yeah,
that's all the way down.
And the group also called the locker room.
Group is called the locker room.
We have men come together, have an open space for us to talk, be vulnerable, talk about issues, topics that are not common things that men talk about at all. As we open vulnerability, just how we interact with our families, with people,
ourselves,
massively
ourselves,
the pressures that we feel, right? The pressures that we're going through, and you just want to be able to have that space to say, hey, like, things are rough right now, or things we're going through some hard things right now. And as men, we often don't have that space.
Yep.
Right?
So we want to create a safe corner for crying to be okay.
Yeah.
As a representation of what we want to talk about, where we can express who we truly are without societal pressures putting that away.
Exactly. And forcing ourselves to accept that, and to speak to everybody out there. Again, we are not. I mean, yes, we have some education and everything to it, but we're going through this the same thing as everybody else. So it just made me think of it, the whole topic of even crying. Okay, I'm still working on that. At times I let it go, but for a long time I wouldn't, right? And that was a big topic for me, a big thing for me. Making sure that crying was okay.
Yep.
It just wasn't, growing up, I just wasn't. And there was a part of it, it was almost a survival tactic that you just couldn't, right? So that has been something that I'm working on too. But in that, as we go through this healing for ourselves, again, we like to share it with others too.
Yep.
Share that process, bring people along on the journey, and everybody's going through it. We're not the only ones. And there's some things that we might have gone through already that we can look back and be like, hey, this works well.
This really doesn't. This
doesn't, right? Exactly. Oh, I got quite a few things that don't work.
We got a handful of those ones. But no, I think the biggest thing that I want to push forward is, like, if we ever hit a hard topic and there are emotions that you feel as well, it's okay to have those emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let yourself kind of sit in those emotions for a little bit, right? But look at that growth after that, right? So me and Nas both had issues with presenting our emotions growing up and stuff like that, but it was a hard road to get to where we are now.
Yeah.
And it's still a road that we're seeking to continue on.
Exactly.
Right? To grow and to be okay with those deeper emotions, right? And we'll talk about what those emotions are in a few episodes, but that's
growing's continuous, man.
It is.
It's not a one-stop shop. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to go, and it doesn't stop. So, but the thing is, like, everybody's going through it. Again, we're going to have different topics that we go through, like you said, and within those topics, you'll probably see a lot of different changes for us. Hopefully, in that vulnerability, it opens the door for just somebody out there, or, one of you, to think about something that you went through similarly, right? Or something that might resonate with you. And like I said, feel free to open that door and explore. That's kind of what we really want. It's going to be different topics. I don't know if there's going to be topics of the day per se. There might be a place where we start in intention. We'll call it intentions.
I was going to say, like, we've been having a struggle trying to figure out what our, like, little tagline is.
No.
And I came to realize, I know, that was really against it. But, like, how funny would it be if our tagline was, the locker room, open the door and explore.
No.
Not using it for obvious reasons, but I'm just saying. So if someone, puts out that, like, a good tagline for us, we'll
probably take it. Yeah.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Not open the door and explore.
Yeah, not open the door and explore.
That is no.
Yeah, no.
But that's really, we're creating this space for that purpose, for us to be able to explore those things. And like I said, we will probably have intentions of the day. I don't want to call it words of the day or topics of the day. Probably intentions of the day. Because, to be honest, it's going to go all over the place.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Even with that being said, some things I'm excited to discuss, I guess, really, would just be a lot of different things, man. Like, I really look forward to, like, okay, that'll be my question.
Tell me about it.
No.
Okay.
I will tell you, but
that's
going to spark, this will be my question.
Okay.
To you.
To me.
What are some things you look forward to?
What do I look forward to?
When it comes to this podcasting process.
I think...
I'm going to repeat that. When it comes to this podcasting process.
We are currently filming in the gym.
Yes, we are.
So this is what this janky backroom setup is. Upgrade soon. We'll see it.
I figure I'm gonna if something like that happens, I'll like this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna just repeat it, and
Yeah.
we could decide to use the original,
Hey,
or we
no,
could
I think
edit
we
it
just
out.
one take, one hot take. You know?
Okay.
No, we're for sure editing.
We edit a
We
few
are
things.
for sure editing.
All right.
Okay, no, I would say my biggest excitement point for this whole journey and this whole podcast is honestly learning how to grow as a community, right? Like I've done one-on-one things with people, I've done one-on-one things with you, and we've hosted the workshop, but I want to see, I guess, like vulnerability grow amongst the bigger group.
Mm-hmm.
I want to create a community where vulnerability is not just secondary and you have to think about it, but it's innate, right?
Right.
It becomes us, and I think that's something for us as well that I'm most excited for is to be in order to create this vulnerable space is that we need to be a vulnerable space in our conversations and
Yeah.
learning stories from you and learning stories from myself and learning stories from maybe a few guests that appear here and there kind of deal would be, I think, my most exciting part about it. Is,
Yeah.
I guess continuing the vulnerability.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Uh.
Uno reverse, back to you.
Well, okay. Well, back to me.
Back to you.
I think I'm most excited about tackling topics. Tackling a lot of topics that surround manhood. I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there. That there is a balance of what masculinity is, being true to self, and then some of the I guess what we considered. I don't even like using the word anymore. I feel like it was thrown around so much, but like toxic masculinity or anything like that, and finding the balance between the two. I feel like that there is a balance, and there's a lot of misunderstanding and misconceptions and misinformation out there that kind of just shades the information one way or the other. And I'm not saying that all the answers, but I'm saying there's something in between, right? Like you can be, both in one. And we are meant to be. There is supposed to be a duality. That's just, I feel like, tossed to the side in most cases, right? In most topics, when I hear so much talking, and it makes me upset. It makes me fucking mad. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate hearing it.
Fucking mad.
And it's just like, what the fuck are they even talking about? People don't even know. Like, anyway,
so you're saying like Joe Rogan isn't my Lord and Savior?
Fuck.
Okay, that alpha male bravado, right?
Yeah.
The reason why it's called toxic masculinity is because it doesn't benefit anyone.
No.
It just makes you feel like a piece of shit.
It does.
Yeah.
And it makes people feel like, and it's just stupid. And there's a difference. Like people take this alpha male bravado, this bullshit, and then they think that this makes them leaders of a household or leaders of a community or and it doesn't. It actually it takes you away from the process that allows you to actually be a leader in the community, a leader of a household. It actually makes you look stupid and anybody who knows what they're talking about, knows, would just look at you and feel like you're being dumb. And it doesn't matter because, is there somebody who might be looked at as somebody, I don't know, I don't like to call it superior, but as a leader? I like to call leader. Fuck that alpha shit. Leader.
Yeah, we don't talk about alpha.
Would there be something? But it's not because of the qualities that get thrown out there as like, oh, you've got to be this stupid caricature of
you gotta smoke 20 cigars and drink 20 bottles of whiskey. No, not good.
It's dumb.
It is
right?
dumb.
Like it's ridiculous. And anyway, so because there's balance to it, And speaking of balance, I want you to know, especially people see like Jason over here. He talks about the nerdy pop culture thing too, but let's say inside. I'll tell you what. If you were to fight.
Well, still give me too much.
If you were to fight. If you were to fight, run up on me, so you might think, I'm just saying, because there's balance. It doesn't mean you can't be who you are and still be able to protect yourself or do things like that. I'm just saying, he'll tell you about his background a little bit more. He leaves that out, but anyway.
We'll talk about it soon. We'll talk about it a little bit here.
Anyway, just letting you know, balance.
Balance
it takes more than just this stupid caricature that they built. So addressing a lot of those things and even getting deeper into where a lot of stuff comes from emotionally, the importance of emotions and being man, in finding who we are, in being the leaders that we want to be. Like anything you read, I read a lot. You'll hear, so there will probably be a lot of quotes or a lot of mentions of books and authors in any time I speak. So
It's true.
yeah, just be prepared for that.
It sometimes gets tiring, you know.
It probably will be. I feel like a lot. It gets
Sometimes.
tiring for me. I feel like a librarian.
It's handy though. If
Oh,
you need a
so
good
and
book
so says
recommendation,
in this book.
yeah,
Yeah. What?
he's great for book club.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you got any book suggestions, if you want any book suggestions, I got plenty for you. Yeah.
That's true.
That's what I do. I read.
It is what he does. But yeah, no, I think that sums up our intro pretty well there.
I guess so.
Yeah. So next episode, we'll chat a little bit more about some finer details.
Yeah, we'll talk about finer details. Maybe we'll pick a topic for next episode.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we'll pick a topic for next episode, I guess. But, yeah, most of it is.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this whole process.
This is gonna be nice. I'm excited to get it talking.
Yeah.
I think people know us by our very talkative modes. And
Oh yeah. And this is probably the least talkative you'll find us, just because
Probably.
we're just talking about introducing ourselves, which
Yeah.
is probably the hardest thing for both of us a little bit.
This is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done in my life.
but
Is sit beside him and awkwardly introduce myself like I've never met him before.
I
So
like so exactly. So this is what we're doing. But I mean, it'll be fun, man. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to address. There's so much information, and sometimes that's what I'm saying. We'll have intentions today. It might come from quotes. It might come from things.
for everywhere, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it might come from
Like,
clips on the internet, or let something happen. This is like, wow, yeah, this is gonna be such a great space to be able to address things in real time as they happen. I look forward to that. That's what I look forward to.
oh my god, we should end every locker room with a new tagline that doesn't make any sense. The locker room, where we let things hang naturally. No? Okay.
No.
Okay. I tried. Sorry, guys.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that is us.
That's us.
We have episodes to follow. We look forward to making this thing happen.
Yeah. All right.
Welcome.
Welcome to the locker room.
Yeah.